On behalf of Akuno Senko for Bay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, where you at? We're trying to help our people elevate. Hope. H-O-P-E. We're giving them hope. We doing what we gotta do, you know. Every day, one step at a time, man. We gonna make it happen. Helping our people elevate. Yeah. Sometimes I practice, focus, thought, and meditate. I'm trying to come with other ways to help our people elevate. And seeking knowledge make me levitate. The lifted mental state is what results from how we orchestrate. This for the family's sake. Let's self-reflect and self-evaluate. And every day, make sure the steps you take, you calculate. Receive a master's fate. I know I can't exist without the hate, but that's okay. I balance that with higher self today. Success is on this way, and after that, my flesh can pass away.
Special guest with us today. This brother here has a long track record in the community. He's a rap artist, ex-gang member. Now he's a family man, an influential speaker, and a businessman. Introduce yourself, brother. Tell the people who you are.
I go by Commando CO now, but I'm also known as CO2 the Great from the Young Hustlers Coalition. And I done switched my life around for 5 years, trying to influence the youngsters to do the same in their lives.
That's right. Go ahead and let's talk about Yellow House Records.
Yellow House Records. So when the Young Hustlers started, we all started as everybody know us as the YH. And as a group, we had a record label called Y Hustle Records. So I always knew that I wanted to do music even with or without the homies. So this was something that I wanted to do. So when I started my own thing, I wanted to keep the YH on there. So that's when I came up with Yellow House Records. So Yellow House is an extension of my hood. So the hood I grew up in, one of the houses known for having that pack was called the Yellow House. So I was like, take the Yellow House because it's known for being dope. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to take that, represent my hood, and still represent the homies. So that's why I came up with Yellow House Records.
I was going to ask you about that. I like how you went ahead and put that in there.
Yeah.
You remember how old you were when you started doing music?
So I got an older brother. He's almost 6.5, 7 years older than me. So when he was 14, 15, you know, I'm 7, 8.
Yeah.
And 2 studios on my street. One guy was the name Larry Hood. Him and my brother and them, they used to always do music. But then Jelly Roll had another studio on my street. And Jelly Roll, because Jelly Roll, he done beats with Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes. Every artist on the West Coast, they know who Jelly Roll is. And he's actually Charlie Wilson's nephew. So, you know, the music in their family is...
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it's Tulsa history, you know what I mean? And that's my homie. Like, we grew up on the same street. We come from the same struggle, and we know the ins and outs about everything off being from the
hood. What inspired you to do music?
So like I said, my brother, I used to always, so my mama worked nights and my pops might be gone out the country for a month or 2. So I used to always have to hang with my brother and my sister. So most of the time I was with my brother. So, you know, growing up in the area we did, hip hop was really taking off in the 80s. You know what I mean? So like I said, we had 2 studios on our street and my brother used to be at both of them. So me hanging with him and seeing them what they was doing, I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. You know what I mean? So my brother was the influence of me doing music. But when I started venturing on my own, listening to music, Brother Lynch, those are the kind of the rappers I listen to. And you know, they was representing their hood.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I could represent my hood and rap and be out there in the same. So that was kind of the influences for me. You know what I mean? And I just took it from there and ran with it.
I want to say, off subject, but on a positive subject. Last year we linked in with a few events. You helped us with the Jays for AIDS. You were there with the Community Power Party, the Community March.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I want to say I appreciate you, brother, for all the work that you do.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of my biggest goals. Is so like we mentor with like Monroe Middle School, KIP, and a couple of other schools, and I try to lead by example. Speaking off camera, I was telling you, I pulled all my music off because I didn't want that negative stuff out there. A lot of people complained because they was telling me, bro, you should have left that up so people could know where you come from and know. But I'm like, I vibe off energy.
Yeah, yeah.
If they would have see that negative energy still out there, that could influence them like, oh, he was doing it and turned out all right, but I was trying to nip it in the bud. You know what I mean? And like, no, we ain't even going to start that. I'm going to try to start them all on the right path.
Yeah, yeah.
And let them know the streets ain't where it's at, man. Like, I'd have lost a lot of homies to the streets. You know what I mean? Like, a lot. I got several homies doing Life Plus. Now, how do you give a man Life Plus? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And most of them, if you talk to them right now, they'll tell you, if I done it different, I would have done it different. You know what I mean? Because you lose your life. You don't have to be dead to be dead, if you get what I'm, you know what I mean? And then in that penitentiary, it's gang on the street. But when you get in that penitentiary, most of the people gonna forget about you. And I hate to say it like that, but it's just the honest truth. You're gonna be calling your mama. Hopefully your girl stay down, but most of the time she gonna run off and do her thing. You know what I mean? So you really in a lose-lose situation. So I try to talk to them and tell them, hey, we just need to avoid this as a whole.
I shared a video yesterday on my channel. A friend of mine, he's doing 2 L's. You know what I'm saying? So even though 2 people lost their lives, he lost his life as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like you're saying, it's a lose-lose situation.
Man. And you know, them people don't have no problem hiding us in their penitentiaries because they gonna get paid off of it. They got you know what I'm saying? They gonna get their little $25,000 a year off of you and keep you hid in that penitentiary, take you away from your family, make it hard for you to provide for your family. You know what I mean? You're gonna be calling, most of them calling begging. And I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? And that's why I try to influence youngsters to stay out the streets, stay out of gangs. You can make anything that's your passion a job. You just have to be taught to learn these people's system and learn how to beat their system.
That's it.
You got to beat them at their own game. That's the only way it's going to work.
That's why we push it, education. Education is one of the most important things, and our people, we shun education.
Yeah.
You know, and the youth is the most important.
Yes, that's our future.
Yeah, they the future. Yeah. And without them, there's no us.
For real.
You know what I mean? If we crash, they gonna crash.
Yeah, and a lot of the influence that they have, yeah, they look to the rappers and they look to the stuff on TV, but most of the stuff they look up to is people that's close to them. Oh, my uncle from this, and that, so I'm gonna be from this, and that. Or my uncle do this, and this, so I'm gonna do this, and that. You know what I mean? And we got to break the cycle and not just tell them what to do, but show them. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. I try to help them turn their love into a job.
I see you got your logo on. Tell us about your brand.
Oh yeah, so I started a clothing line called In Crowd Clothing and Cash Me Out the slogan. So people always ask me, what is Cash Me Out? What does that mean? So I tell them, long story short, it means the job is complete. When you complete your job, what do you want to do? You want to get paid. So I tell them, cash me out.
Yeah. I like that.
And it's crazy. No matter where I've been to, everywhere I go, I wear a Cash Me Out shirt. Somebody like it and somebody ask me about it. You know what I mean? So it ain't nothing that's just local. You know, a lot of people in Tulsa, they try to stick to the Black Wall Street and to those kind of sayings. My saying is more of an international saying because everybody in the whole world want to get cashed out. Everybody in the whole world about their money. You know what I mean? And that's what it is with me. So I try to turn something that they thought was going to be negative into a positive. You know what I'm saying? So I do. So I started actually selling them out the trunk. I started ordering from other people to print up my shirts and press them up. And then I always had the mindset of cutting out the middleman.
That part.
And I learned how to manufacture my own stuff. I learned, you know what I'm saying, the ins and outs of just the clothing business, and I became my own boss. So I manufactured. So when you buy from me, I made this.
Yeah.
I put in my hours and my work to
from the heart.
Yeah, to put all this stuff together. So it ain't just nothing that I take for granted, or you know what I mean? Like, it's my life. So that's I wake up every morning and I make sure I put in at least 8 hours a day into my own business. You know what I mean? So
and so you see you see your own results.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Coming from your background, like you said, you took a lot of that music off because, you know what I mean, you didn't want people to get that perspective. As you spoke on, you know, you removed the past tense music, you know, you want to promote positivity now. And so what was it that made you want to seek where you at now?
Okay, so like I said, I done lost about maybe 10 of my close homies to the grave. I done lost another 20 or 30 to the penitentiary. So when I woke up, bro, and I was just like, this is a dead end street. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dead end. You can't name one successful gang member.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? You can't name one. People are tipsy, but look what happened to him. His own gang killed him. You know what I mean? Then you talk about all the other rappers and stuff. 99% of them is fake.
That part, real talk.
You know what I'm saying? 99% of them ain't going. You can see now from the cases that's going on in Atlanta. How they ratting on each other. You know what I'm saying? Ratting is at an all-time high. So I seen that the streets have rules, but it's on a blank piece of paper. So that's what it was for me. I talked to God and I told him, I said, I need something that's going to keep my income coming in, but get me out the street. You know, so that's when I say I started the clothing line, and I ain't looked back since, and I ain't touched the streets since. You know what I mean? So, you know, in Tulsa in 2008, a lot of people were victim to them crooked cops. I that, you know what I mean? And I got lucky because they kicked in my door, planted drugs, and then when I showed up to court, I got lucky because they had become under investigation.
Yeah.
So my case got thrown out because of the crooked cops. You know what I mean?
And it was a few of them. It was quite a few of them.
Yeah. So I got lucky in that situation. And then after that, I just was like, you know what? That was my wake-up call. And I'm good. I'm done. You know what I mean? And then plus the work went bad and the price went high.
Yeah. The game changed, man. Yeah.
For me to even situation, so me, I always flew under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't a stupid hustler. I knew how to hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew for them to be able to get that close to me in the first place, it was somebody close to me
that type shit
that sent them. You know what I mean? So I said it's a lose-lose situation. So I'm finna not only lose my homie, I'm finna lose myself, and then this gonna put our whole gang in chaos because we got to get to the bottom of this. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm telling you, my message since then been to like, hey, just leave that alone. Because I was talking to one of my big homies one time, and he told me, he said, in all honesty, there is no honor amongst thieves.
That part.
So what he was saying is, for somebody to save themselves, they'll give you up. Even if he tell you, he can look you in your eyes and tell you he love you, it's gang, it's whatever. But to save himself, he'll give you up. So I took that like, well, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, that ain't no way to go for me. So, man, I was just cool with all of it, and you know, and that's when I started reaching out. Plus, I got nephews that was looking up to me, and I'm leading them down the wrong path. You know what I mean? So I was just trying to reverse all the stuff, because there was a lot of people that looked up to me. So, example, we used to be in the clubs, you know, performing and all that. So we was the ones that actually started the barcode. I know you heard back in the day. It was the club at that time in Tulsa.
I remember that.
We was responsible for that. You know what I mean? But then at that time, I wasn't just in the drugs, selling drugs, using drugs, you know what I'm saying, and all that. I had the whole club on drugs. Me destroying my own people that I say I love. You know what I mean? I was just cool with it, bro. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if people believe in the afterlife or the next life. We know we don't die. Energy stays forever. So there's a judgment. That means we gonna be judged. If you believe in that part, you know what I mean? And that's the part I believe. So I just felt like I was cool, man.
It sounded like you held yourself accountable for your actions.
That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I say, a lot of people wanted to be from the set because of me. A lot of people wanted to sell drugs because of me. A lot of people wanted to do drugs because I was the one passing them out. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want that on me anymore. So I tried to get on and do something positive. You know what I mean? And
when you mentioned your nephew, it made me think in 2014 when the police killed DeAndre Starks. My little brother was incarcerated at that time, and at the time my nephew was 5, and he was at my mama's house, and something inside of me looked at him and said he wasn't gonna be the next one. He wasn't gonna be the next victim of police brutality, and he wasn't gonna be the next victim to being incarcerated, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I knew I had to fix myself.
Yeah.
Like you said, other people are watching you.
All the time. More people than you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I knew it, but I didn't know it at the time. You know what I mean? Like you said, we hollering gang, and we thinking that's the lifestyle. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you're really teaching the others something wrong. You think it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But I had to check myself, basically, where I'm going with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had to hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, I knew Trey from when he was young.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, he used to be always ones that he would celebrate what you had going. Like if he liked it, he'd be like, "Man, bro, I see you over there." You know what I'm saying? But he was like, "Bro, I see you got the Dooby and you got whoopie whoop." You know what I'm saying? I'm telling him, I'm like, "Bro, this ain't it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And man, if I could go back and change a lot of stuff of what I was doing in the community, I would, and what others was doing.
I think going through what we went through is what made us who we are today.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? As they say, trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? Going through that journey, now you can speak to those brothers. Hey, going through what we went through, we can reach out to those who are. Everything repeat itself.
Yeah.
The same stuff I was doing in the early 2000s. Y'all was doing in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And they was doing it in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? It's a repeat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when it's time to change that.
Yeah, we got to break the cycle.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to its original cause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why even when people be like, "Well, you an ex-gang member," I'm like, "No, I ain't no ex-gang member. I'm still a gang member. I just don't choose the negative side of it."
That part.
Created to protect the neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was flipped on us. You know what I mean? So I'm still in the gang, but I'm promoting positivity. You know,
they probably hating on this because this is gonna be something powerful.
And you hear me?
You know what I'm saying? I think they starting to hate. You know what I'm saying? We good. I'm gonna have to edit it, but before we go ahead and wrap it up. Any message you want to get to the youth?
So if I had one thing to tell the youth, I would tell them, you can turn your love or what you're passionate about into a job, into a career. But to get to that, you might have to work another job to build your dream. Don't get ashamed of having to work for somebody else to build your dream, though. Because in the end, you're going to accomplish everything you want to accomplish. But the most important thing is don't let another person trick you into tricking off your life. Don't let another person tell you what, hey, you ain't a man or you ain't this or that if you don't do this. That's not true. The realest gangster on the street is the one that can be there for his family.
That part.
I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean?
So, man, I appreciate you again, brother.
Yeah.
They gonna want to get this one, so they probably gonna want some more of this right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I appreciate your time, brother, and I'm gonna holler at you later.
Okay. All right, bro.
All right, peace.
Yep.